Today's video is about four manuscripts of Old English literature. Let's come to the point. First manuscript is Vercelli manuscript. Manuscript is the book which is written by hand. And the second is Junius manuscript. Third is Exeter manuscript. And the fourth is Beowulf manuscript. The Vercelli book is one of the oldest of the four Old English poetic codices, and this is the oldest one. The others being the Junius manuscript, the exterior book, the Nowell codex. Nowell codex is also known as Beowulf manuscript, as I earlier said. It is an anthology. What is anthology? Anthology is a collection, or you can say volume of prose and verse, and this dates back to the late 10th century. The manuscript is housed in the Capitolary Library of Vercelli in northern Italy. The Vercelli book consists of 135 folios, you can say 135 leaves or pages. And although the manuscript was probably compiled and written in the late 10th century, though the manuscript was written and compiled in the 10th century, not all of the text found in the manuscript were original. But the thing is that all the texts are not original, which contains in the manuscript at that time. The poems ascribed to Nowell, like poems which are attributed to Nowell, like the Fares of Apostle and Eileen, could have been created much earlier. These are quite old poems. The Vercelli book contains 23 prose homilies. It contains 23 prose homilies. What is prose? Prose exhibit the natural flow of ideas and grammatical structure. The prose can be fiction or non-fiction, but it cannot be verse. And homily, what is homily? Homily is sermon or religious discourse, which has some moral aptitude or morality. You can say him homilies. The Vercelli homilies and prose without Saint Guthlac interspersed with 6 poems, and these are interspersed with 6 poems. And these 6 poems are: first is Andreas, the Fares of Apostles, Soul and Body, Dream of the Root, Aline, a fragment of a homiletic poem. The Exeter book, Exeter Cathedral Library MS 3501, also known as the Codex Axoniensis, is a 10th century book or codex of Anglo-Saxon poetry. It is one of the four major Anglo-Saxon literature codices, along with the Vercelli book, Nowell codex, also known as Beowulf manuscript, and the Candman manuscript, also known as the Junius manuscript. The Exeter book is the collection of Old English poetry. The manuscript was given to Exeter Cathedral by the Bishop Leofric, who died in 1072. It begins with some long religious poems. Mostly this contains religious poems like the Christ, which is written in 3 parts, 2 poems of Saint Guthlac, the fragmentary Agerius, and the allegorical Phoenix. Following these are a number of short religious verses intermingled with poems of types that have survived only in this manuscript, and all poems are which are survived in this manuscript are compiled in this manuscript also. All the extant Anglo-Saxon lyrics, all the existence Anglo-Saxon lyrics or elegies as they are usually called, they are found in this manuscript, the Exeter manuscript, like the Wanderer, the Seafarer, the Wife's Lament, the Husband's Message, and the Rune. These are most important lyrics, and they all are found in this manuscript, the Exeter manuscript. And these elegies and lyrics present the sense of desolation and loneliness in their description of the separation of lovers when lovers are separating from each other. They show the sorrows, the terrors, and attractions of the sea are there, and all these things are depicted in these lyrics and elegies, like the wanderer and the seafarer. These are religious allegories. And what is allegory? In allegory, it is a genre. Here the story runs on two levels. One is surface level and the other is on hidden level, which is meant for something and it convey some meaningful message, like you can say the Absalom and Agitable, which is a political allegory written by John Dryden, is the fine example of allegory. In addition, the Exeter book preserves 95 riddles, a genre that would otherwise have been represented by solitary example. The remaining part of the Exeter book includes the rhyming poem, which is the only example of its kind, like the nomic verses. Nomic verses are which is quite pithy and have some saying or adas, like you can say proverb type verses are there. Vidsit, the heroic narrative of fictitious war. Vidsit is a heroic narrative, and it contains heroic qualities of a fictitious poet. And the two refrain. Refrain is you can say a song which comes at the end, and it is repeated frequently at the end. This is a refrain, like the deer and the wolf and adversar. The arrangement of the poems appears to be half-fuzzed, the arrangement seems to be very half-fuzzed, and the book is believed to be copied from an early collection, and it is believed that this book is copied from a collection which is quite ancient or earlier, you can say. The Junius manuscript. The Junius manuscript is one of the four major codices of Old English literature, and written in 10th century. It contains poetry dealing with biblical subject in Old English, and mostly it contains poetry which has biblical themes or subjects. Uh, the vernacular language of Anglo-Saxon England. Modern editors have determined that the manuscript is made of four poems, and the modern editors find out that this manuscript mainly contains four poems. These are Genesis, Exodus, Daniel, and Christ and Satan. The identity of their author is unknown. For a long time, scholars believed them to be the work of Cantman. Some scholars believe that it is the work of Cantman, and that's why it is also known as Cantman manuscript sometimes. Accordingly, calling the book the Cantman manuscript, as I earlier said. This theory has been discarded. What now? This theory is rejected due to significant differences between the poems. Due to some significant differences are there, that's why this theory is discarded. The manuscript owes its current designation to the Anglo-Dutch scholar Franciscus Junius. The manuscript owes its title to Anglo-Dutch scholar. The name is the Franciscus Junius. That's why Junius manuscript is called. Who was the first to edit its content? The first one who edits the content of this volume, and who bequeathed it to Oxford University and give it to Oxford University. It is kept in the Bodleian Library under Shalmark MS Junius 11 and kept in this university library, Bodleian Library under Shalmark MS Junius 11. The Nowell codex, also known as the Beowulf manuscript, is the second of two manuscripts comprising the bound volume Cotton MS Vitellius A. XV, one of the four major Anglo-Saxon poetic manuscripts. It is most famous as the manuscript containing the unique copy of the epic poem Beowulf. As I earlier said, Beowulf is the epic poem, and the Nowell codex contains it. In addition to this, it contains first a fragment of the life of Saint Christopher. It contains the fragment of the life of Saint Christopher. Then the more complete text, Wonders of the East and the Letters of Alexander to Aristotle. And after Beowulf, a poetic translation of Judith due to fame of Beowulf. The Nowell codex is also sometimes, as I earlier said, it is also called Beowulf manuscript. Point meant to be remembered. Manuscript is located within the British Library with the rest of Cotton collection, and it located in British Library with the rest of the Cotton collection. And thank you for today. Hope you will not forget to subscribe my channel and share it. Thank you once again.